Hi, I'm Maura Barclay with Exercise TV, and welcome to No Sweat Yoga. No Sweat Yoga is about stretching and relaxing. I'm going to be guiding you through a series of standing, seated, and reclined stretches designed to get into every nook and cranny and release stress and tension. Make sure you don't go any deeper into a position than you feel comfortable. Once you feel the stretch, stay right there and just breathe. The only thing you'll need for this is your yoga mat and your breath. So let's start our relaxation by standing in Tadasana and inhale the arms up. Exhale, take a soft bend in the knee and just take it down to the floor. And let the head completely relax. Bend the knees and roll it up one vertebra at a time on the inhale. When the shoulders get square, take the hands to the sky and gently exhale all the way down. This time, step your feet as wide as your hips. Let your head, neck, and shoulders go. Drop the hips, roll it up. Let your arms be long and relaxed. And when your shoulders get square, once again, inhale the arms up. Exhale it down. And release the head, neck, and shoulders. Drop the hips, once again, roll it up. Arms circle up. And forward fold, reaching out with the heart, soft bend the knees, hands come to the floor. Now just straighten and bend your knees one at a time. Nice and easy. And if you can't get your leg perfectly straight, then don't do it. This is your yoga practice. This is supposed to feel good. There shouldn't be any strain. This is for you to stretch comfortably. Just a few more breaths here. And bend both knees, drop the hips, roll it up. Arms circle up. And once again, exhale. Flat back on the way down. Now, bend your left leg and straighten your right leg to the best of your ability. And then reach up with the left hand and just take a gentle twist here. If it feels better to straighten the leg, then straighten it. Or you can alternate, whatever feels good to you. One more breath here. And release. Let's take the other side. Bending the right leg, reach up and stretch and open the rib cage. Couple deep breaths here. Look up at your thumb. If this is hard on your neck, just look down. You have nothing to prove here. Just relax and enjoy. And release that down to the floor. Bend the knees and roll it up one vertebra at a time. Letting the spine reset in neutral after your twist. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold it forward. Cross your left leg in front of your right leg. And just let your body weight come down. If you can't touch the floor here, take a soft bend in your knees and take one hand to your thigh. Support your low back. Maybe take the opposite hand to your front leg. Find a position of comfort here. This is a nice stretch for the outside of your thigh. If you use a treadmill, you walk a lot, this is a nice stretch for all that tissue. Bend the knees, step your feet to neutral. Once again, roll it up. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, take it down. And this time, cross the right leg in front of the left leg. Try to keep the leg straight if you can, but if a soft bend feels better, that's what you do. And relax the body down towards the floor. Take any modification here you need to feel good. Deep breaths. All that tension hanging around in your joints will leave on each exhale. Walk your feet to neutral. And roll it up. Take the hands all the way to the sky and clasp your fingers and turn your hands upward. And let's inhale the shoulders up. Reach the hands up and allow the shoulders to come up. Then keep reaching as you exhale the shoulders down, creating lots of space. Inhale and exhale the shoulders down. One more like that. Inhale and exhale. Now clasp your arms behind you. Roll the shoulders back and stretch the chest. Be aware of what's happening in your spine in this position. It's very easy to let the hips pop back behind you. Make sure they're tucked. And Make sure that you're not pressing your rib cage forward. Do this work with your shoulders. Just let your shoulders do it. If you can, maybe let the hands come up behind you a little bit. Take a deep breath here. So now you're noticing as you stretch your shoulders, makes it a little bit harder to breathe. So take as deep a breath as you can, given this big stretch happening. One more breath. And take your feet wider than your mat, bend your knees and fold forward. Hang on to your hands, don't let them go, don't let them go. Release your grip a little bit so that you take the pressure off your elbows and just let your hands be assisted by gravity here. Just a few more breaths. This isn't about your hamstrings, so don't try to straighten your knees. There's no need. This is all about getting the tension out of your shoulders. Bring your hands back towards your hips and then very gently release your grip. Take your hands to the floor, bend your knees and walk your hands right up to your thighs. And take a nice flat back. Drop your right shoulder and look over your left shoulder and stretch. Exhale. Inhale back to neutral. Switch. Exhale to navel to spine. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, twist. Navel to spine. Inhale, it's like a sponge, wringing out a sponge. Inhale to neutral. Let's take some spinal rolls here. Just round the back. Tuck your chin a little, tuck the tail, and then inhale. And the crown of the head moves forward. Let's take two more like that. Nice and easy. Last one. We're just getting some blood moving through the back here. Now take your hands down to the floor. Walk your feet a little wider. Bend the left leg and look at the right ankle as you sink down into that knee. Inhale through neutral and switch. If this position is not available to you, simply bring your hands to your thighs, navel to spine, lift the chest, and stretch. You want to put a lot of weight in your hands. You'll still get plenty of stretch in your inner thigh here. If you can, take your hands to the floor. Maybe try coming up onto your fingertips if that's a little easier for you. Exhale, sink down. Find your way with this. Remember, this is all your practice. Two more. And take it to neutral. Walk your feet in just a smidge. Take your hands to your thighs and just sink down into your hips here. This is actually creating a lot of stretch in your hips. Take your forearms down to your thighs. And then take the hands down and walk yourself into a squatting position. Make sure your heels are on the floor. You might need to walk your feet out a little bit. That's just fine. Now, take your forearms to your knees and press them out. Crown of the head lifts. Make sure that you're not hunched in your back. Proud chest, relaxation in the face. Just opening the hips here. Two more breaths. If you want, you place the hands here if you want to take some of the heat off the quadriceps. And you can move back and forth between raising and lowering. To take it all the way down to the floor. Bring your feet together and just find a nice, comfortable seat. Let's just take some circles. Inhale to the left. And take it around the other way. Nice and easy. You're going to use your hands to keep you from falling over backwards. That's not part of the stretch. But if it happens, just get back up. Great. And take the rib cage over to one side and then the other, just side to side, nice and easy. Very rarely do we get the chance to just move our rib cages. And just take the hands, place them together, and just sit for a moment. Just take a couple of breaths here. Relax the face. And just sit and breathe. 3 breaths. Now we're going to transition to an excellent stretch called the gate. Come up onto your right knee. If you need a little bit more cushion, just fold your yoga mat and place it right underneath your knee. Extend your left leg, the foot is facing forward, and stand up onto your knee. Make sure that your ankle is exactly square with that hip and that your right knee is also underneath your hip. Gently place your left hand on your leg. Lift that right hand up and first reach up and take the ear all the way to the shoulder and then lower the shoulder away from the ear, but keep reaching up so you have a lot of spaciousness here. Without putting any pressure on your knee, very easy, begin to hinge over and you'll feel this stretch immediately, so be careful with this one. Don't overdo it. We're going to spend a few breaths here, so just let your body open naturally. Keep lots of space in the neck. Keep the navel working to the spine and look up into your elbow. It's a beautiful stretch for the neck, the inner thigh, and your right waist is getting beautiful lengthening. On your next two breaths, see if you can ease into it a little more. Imagine that you're between two panes of glass and keep yourself in line. Last effort. Exhale, come right out and switching sides. Same setup, take your time. Always build your postures carefully so that you can stay balanced. Take your left knee under your hip and extend that right foot and make sure your foot is facing forward. Extend the ankle in line with the hip and the knee is directly under the opposite hip. Take your right hand to your right thigh, reach up with the left hand, take the shoulder all the way to the ear first, reach up and draw the shoulder down as you continue to reach to create space in the neck. Look into your elbow and just as easy as you please, begin to hinge over and breathing deeply, inhaling, exhaling. Now be sure that you're not having any compression. This is not about trying to get yourself down to your thigh. It's about reaching up and over, not down. So you want to think about how much space you can make here. And you breathe. Last effort, see if you can hinge down maybe a little bit more, opening the left waist. And bring it back and come to a seated position. This is seated eagle. We're going to open up the shoulders. So extend your left hand and take your right arm over and just kind of flop it over. And you want to try to get your elbow over to your left. Then take the hand to your face. Now turn your right palm upwards and attempt to wrap it around. This might be as far as you get, and that's just fine. You're going to feel this stretch in your shoulder blades. If you can, turn the palms towards one another and breathe. This is a very challenging posture. It may not look like much, but your shoulder blade is in the process of opening, and you probably feel that. Deep breaths. Anytime you challenge the shoulders, it's important to breathe deeply because that is actually activating the accessory muscles of breathing, which are connected to your shoulders. The more you breathe, the more everything opens. If you want a little bit more out of this posture, you can take your elbows up. If you're not sure, you can try to take your elbows up and you'll know immediately if that doesn't work for you. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Breathing deeply, the last part of seated eagle is begin to move the hands away from the face and feel that shoulder blade open. Deep breaths, stick with it, let your body open, and release. And let's do the other side. The right hand just opens up and you flop the left hand over and try to get that elbow as far across as possible. Then just bring the right palm up to your face. Turn the left palm over. Now reach the left thumb around. You're trying to cross the hands. Again, this might be as far as you get. This is plenty of stretch. If possible, turn the palms towards each other and try to grasp. So your whole expression of this posture may be this right here, just trying to get those hands together. That's just fine. This is a lot of work. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Sit up nice and tall, navel to spine. And if you want a little bit more out of this, begin to experiment about taking the elbows up. Now realize, each side of your body is different, so you may actually get a little bit more movement here. And if it feels good to you, the last effort, fullest expression, begin to move the hands away. One more breath here. And release. Let's just take a simple runner stretch. Extend the right leg and place the sole of the foot in the inner thigh. Turn your shoulders towards your foot. Don't let the hips come off the floor as you reach up and out. Up and out is very important. If you try to get your forehead down to your knee, you're going to bypass the stretch, and that's not where the work is. Anchor yourself with your hands. Reach out with the heart. Think about getting your face past your foot, not down, it's out. On each exhale, begin to slowly reach the face towards the toe. Check out your pedicure. And you breathe. Shoulders out of the ears. Make sure you're not squinching up. Stretching doesn't help if you're contracted. If you have tension, nothing's going to release. One more breath here. On each exhale, try to descend a little bit lower. And come on up, switch sides. You'll probably feel immediately whether or not this side is your tighter side or if it's your looser side. Once again, anchor yourself, turn your shoulders towards your left foot and begin to descend. If you're having trouble getting your face forward, just take a hand behind and give yourself a little push. It's all legal. And exhale, reaching out. The reason we stay in these postures a little bit longer, you'll notice your body starts to unwind. The muscles start to lengthen, your body starts to surrender, and that's where the tension and stress goes away. But it does take a little bit of time. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. On each exhale, see if you can get a little bit closer to your feet. Shoulders out of the ears, lots of space. Excellent. And bring it back. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Very simple groin stretch that you probably remember from your elementary school days. The only difference is we're not going to do the ballistic stretching. None of this, not today. In fact, let's take the left hand behind, gently place the right hand on the right knee, and just very easy, provide a little bit of guidance. Not pressure, guidance. No pushing the knee down to the floor. Just a little suggestion. And another breath. And let's switch sides. The left hand goes to the left knee. You want to lean into that a little bit, get a little anchor, and very gently suggest where the body's moving. Never press and try to open a joint or muscle tissue before it's ready. Last effort here. And release. Let's take the right hand in front and the left hand behind and take a very easy twist. Looking over the shoulder. Lots of breath here. Exhaling deeply, navel to spine. Sit up nice and tall. That's probably more effort than you would think. Make sure the crown of the head is leading to the sky and let it go. And other side. Left hand in front, right hand behind. First, sit up nice and tall, and you can push yourself forward. And exhale, take a gentle twist. Let's take 2 more breaths here. On each inhale, the crown of the head lifts, and on each exhale, we're looking over the shoulder. Last effort. And return. And go ahead and just hug your feet and sit up nice and tall. And take 3 breaths here. Let your spine come back into neutral. And reset. Relax the face. And breathe. Let's take this groin stretch to the ground. Turn yourself around, make sure you have a lot of padding underneath you, and very gently roll it down to the floor. Let's just take the knees to the chest first, because that's a lot of hip opening. Now, press the soles of the feet together. Try to clasp the hands on the outsides of the feet. I have unusually long arms, so this is not a problem for me. If you do not have unusually long arms, go ahead and grab your ankles. Relax your head and neck, push your feet together, and once again, attempt to draw your knees away from you. So it's basically like you're sitting up tall, except you're on the floor. If you can clasp your hands, hold on to your feet and take the knees away. On your next exhale, draw your heels down towards the floor. Keep the arms straight, and that will pull you right off the ground. And this makes a beautiful stretch in the upper back and in the neck. And on your next inhale, release. So this work is being done by the legs, not the arms. On your next exhale, draw the heels down towards the floor and feel that open the shoulders. The shoulder blades pull apart and creates all this beautiful space in the upper back and the trapezius. That's the muscle that always gets tight when we're at the computer or we drive. Inhale, take it back. Let's do one more. Exhale, draw the heels down, and the face lifts. Continue to try to push the knees away. Continue to open the hips here. Wonderful. Take it back and just take the knees together and spinal roll. This is a spinal roll. It can be from side to side or it can be from front to back. Either way. Just massage your spine a little bit. Now take the feet down to the floor, and you want your heels about hips distance apart, and your feet are facing straight on, and your palms are on the floor. We're going to inhale into bridge, lift the hips, and the arms come up. At the top of the inhale, the arms touch, and on the exhale, they come down. So you're like a bellows here. Inhale, and exhale, slowly, thoughtfully. Inhale and exhale. Let's do about 6 more of these. Inhale up, push through the heels, and lower, exhale. Inhale up, and exhale down, nice and easy. Inhale up, push through the heels, exhale down. Deep inhale. And imagine you're exhaling all the tension out of your body. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale up. Push the hips up as the hands reach. Exhale. All the way down. Now that's a little bit of a back bend. So once again, take the knees to the chest. At any time, if you have any tension in your lower back, just take the knees to the chest for a second and get a nice counter stretch. All right, let's do an assisted plow pose. Take your feet towards the back of your head and take your hands to your hips to support yourself. This may be the position you wind up in, that's just fine. If you can, attempt to touch the feet behind your head. That might not be available to anyone or to everyone. Bend the knees if you like, if this is a little bit more comfortable for you. We're just stretching the back, taking it into flexion. You may want to play with how much movement you can get here. Attempt to straighten the legs. If you can get the legs behind you, go ahead and place the hands on the mat. Just a couple more breaths here. Play around with your movement. This is all exploration. You finding what feels good to get all the tension out of your body. Take your hands down to the mat. Very slowly roll down. Once again, knees to chest. Little spinal roll. All right, now we're going to stretch the front of the neck in fish pose. Take your hands underneath your hips and straighten out your legs. Rotate your arms so that your elbows are facing the floor. If this causes any discomfort in your neck, just stay right here. On your next inhale, bend your arms and the crown of the head lifts. Place the crown of the head gently on the floor. You don't have to put any pressure on the head here. All of the weight is being carried in the arms. You can play with how much weight you put in the arms here. And again, if this hurts your neck, just come on down. This is a fantastic stretch for the muscles at the base of the neck. And you breathe. 2 more breaths. Relax. Last effort. And release. Take the weight in the arms, lift the head, gently tuck the chin, and roll down. The hands come out from the hips, and once again, the knees come to the chest. Very common theme, spinal rolls. This is a great way just to neutralize the spine and get any tension out of the low back. Hold on to your left knee and extend your right leg. And just take the knee to the chest. Put a lot of activity in your right foot. Flex that foot and attempt to take this knee to your collarbone. On each exhale, imagine you're an archer, like a bow and arrow, reaching your right foot away as you draw your knee to your chest. And this will increase your ability to stretch the hip. 1 more breath. And on the exhale, reach the foot and the knee in the opposite direction. Then simply straighten your left leg, flex the foot for a hamstring stretch. If this is very uncomfortable to you, if this is where your hamstring stretches, then simply hold on to your leg to whatever degree you can. Take a simple stretch here and just face the foot to the sky. Now keep the foot to the sky and begin to pull your leg down toward your shoulder. Just take a couple of breaths here. Nice and easy. Make sure the foot is not facing out but up as you draw the knee closer and closer to your shoulder. If you can hold on to the top of your foot, wonderful. If that's not available to you, just grab onto the leg. And release and switch. The right knee comes to the chest, flex the left foot, and once again you are the archer. Reaching the foot in the opposite direction of the knee, and you breathe. One more breath. And straighten the right leg, flex the foot, and find your hamstring stretch. Again, if you have unusually long arms, you might be able to even catch your toe. Or if you have long hamstrings, you can catch your toe. Just take whatever degree of stretch feels really good to you. And then begin to pull your leg down toward your shoulder. If you can reach your foot, fantastic. Absolutely not necessary. It's just a hip opener, so to whatever degree you can. And release, take both knees together, arms out, and just gently draw your knees over to the right as you gaze to the left for a simple spinal twist. Unwind your spine. Deep breaths here. The deeper you breathe, the more your low back will release, because your abdominals and your low back muscles are connected. Breathe as deeply as you can. On your next inhale, take it to neutral. And exhale, lower the opposite side and gaze over your right shoulder. And just breathe. Your only job is to stay in this twist and breathe. Deep breaths. Try to move the navel away from the spine. One more breath here. And take it back to neutral on the inhale. Spinal roll. And roll up to a seated position. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands down to the heart. Make sure you drink plenty of water and try to take it easy. Thank you so much for joining me for No Sweat Yoga. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. I'm Maura Barclay with Exercise TV. Namaste.